So why do we want to pay attention to the Gotland sheep? Well, Gotlands could be a breed to consider for several reasons. They have gorgeous silver gray to black pelts, good flavored meat, which develops a little bit longer in these sheep because they're a long wool breed, so they mature more slowly. Their fiber is cherished by hand spinners, weavers, felters, and they're a sheep that's very friendly, medium size, naturally polled, and short-tailed. They're great, efficient mothers and easy milkers. They are early in their growth phase in the United States, so one might consider that you can make a contribution to the development of this breed. There are only a few breeders in Michigan and very few breeders in the Midwest. There are more numerous breeders, it appears, in the Northwest states. So what's the origin of these sheep? Just a little background. The Goot sheep, also referred in English literature as the Goth sheep, came over with the Vikings, and it is thought that the Goot sheep originated or got placed on the Gotland Islands. So they were all that was made of Gotland sheep up until the early 1900s. At that point, a small group of breeders noticed that some of their sheep developed a silver gray fleece, so those were kept out. And that tone of gray with the shine was saved for further breeding, with selection made for the special gray. When starting to breed in a more organized way, that became the modern Gotland breed. There are Gotlands that in Sweden, their primary purpose is to have controlled breeding for size and fur skin quality. The meat is also used, but the market has been well established on an international basis from Sweden to Europe and beyond for interior design, clothing, and various other upholstery uses. And that market is a managed market so that all of the skins going out are of the same quality. And that is something that this country has not ever been able to develop, it appears, with any of the sheep breeds or the use of our pelts. They're tanned in Sweden as they're shorn to different wool lengths, and as I said, clothing even can be produced. On the other line, where of the smaller producer, mittens, hats, vest, and of course yarn for all kinds of quality products. The lamb fleece is very soft and is good next to the skin. There are two organizations in this country that are used for registration of these animals. They can be registered in one of them or both of them, depending on the breed standard that each of them have developed. There is overlap between them, and here is a slide picture for you to be able to look at those breed organizations if interested. it's also interesting to look at those which have the rams that have been used for AI and now embryos, to see the difference in how they've developed as well. So we'll continue with more pictures and some information about the Gotland sheep and what a nice breed of sheep it is to have. Since 2003, the laparoscopic AI process has been utilized to add to the gene pool in this country, since we can't import the actual sheep. And currently, that has helped to make new genetics more feasible, more possible, but we're running out. And just this year, we currently have the addition of embryos to increase the genetics in the US. And we, my friend and I, are 2 of the 5 breeders in the US selected to produce 100% Swedish lambs in the spring of 2021. So we're quietly looking forward to that, being on pins and needles until March, when we will see what we get on the ground. Stay tuned. So lastly, as to sum up my thoughts, why do I have Gotlands? That's a good question. I was sitting here trying to remember what made me first look into Gotlands. And I believe it might have been when I went to the New York State Sheep and Wool show as a vendor and ran across a couple at the show. So I talked to a few breeders and came home with 2. What do you know? And that was the beginning of a really challenging and exciting addition of a new breed to my already existing. So mind you, I already have the Teeswater sheep that is lustery, as the Gotlands are, and curly locks, and both take to dye very nicely. The Gotlands do a very beautiful job of over dyeing the gray or the dark colors with the various jewel tones. So I also like the size of the Gotland sheep. They are, as I've already said, good for meat, good for pelts, good for their mothering abilities. They're easy lambers, and they're very tough. They can survive some harsh winter. I guess coming from Sweden, they should be able to. I also like the challenge of a new breed, and in trying to improve it and make it better for us, the introduction and the conversation that I get to have with customers at the various festivals are something that I really enjoy. And I try to provide some pictures and just information that will excite them about using their wool or enjoying that pelt. So I'm always available for any questions, farm visits. Come see the lambs in the spring. That's the best part. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. And hope to see you in the spring.